Hi there, this is MacKinnon with the Colorado School of Clinical Herbalism. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about botany, and specifically where and when to botanize. There's a common misconception that you need a pristine field of wildflowers or a giant alpine meadow with rare little swamp species in it in order to be able to look at plants. But you can really just start looking at plants wherever you are. So whether you're in rural cultivated farmland, or whether you live in the suburbs, or whether you live in a very dense urban center, there's always something to look at. There's always plants there. That's the wonderful thing about living on Earth, is that we're constantly surrounded by plants wherever we are. You can look from the street trees in Denver to even here in Boulder in some of what people might call brown sites or more abandoned areas. There's a richness and a diversity of plants wherever you go. Another common misconception that we see with botany is that it has to be done in the spring or the summertime. Now, admittedly, just like with us, flowers are a little more dynamic, a little more boisterous during the spring and the summer, and even into the fall months. But during the winter, there's still a great deal to look at and a great deal to learn from the winter landscape. A great way to start with wintertime botanizing is looking at the evergreen trees. Here in Colorado, a lot of our trees actually do tend to be evergreen, so even more than the East Coast or the West Coast, this is a great place to start. The tree that we're going to look at today is this one, and the genus and species is Pseudotsuga menziesii. And pseudo means like. Tsuga is the genus name for an eastern species of eastern hemlock. And the reason they call it Pseudotsuga is because the needles are short, just like that eastern species. And we'll look a little bit at the picture here. You'll see that the needles actually have a similarity to the eastern species, and that they have two white stripes along the bottom of them. Along with the needles of Pseudotsuga of the Douglas Fir, one of the really key characteristics of it is in the cones. And you can see in this picture, the cones, they're small, they're a little bit brittle, but they have a very distinctive feature on them, which is the bracts. If you look at the bracts, they're three-pointed. They look almost like a mouse kind of got stuck with its tail, feet out, inside the cones. But that's one of the distinctive features about the cones of this species. No other species has that distinctive little bract that comes out, that sort of snake tongue, three-pointed bract that you'll see in this species. Along with looking at species like our evergreens, which you can botanize and look at with year-round, there's also great things to learn from the perennial and the annual plants and what they've left for us after their season of growing. From seeds, to leftover stems, to twigs, to bud and leaf scars, never mind the evergreen plants that are all around us. There's a huge deal to learn, even when it's cold and, a foot of snow.